I say best MPM, who do you think of? Jazz? Bumblebee? Blackout? Well, I'm here to actually change your mind right now, because I think MPM Starscream is the best. And now, I get why you might say, no, he isn't. Especially because of his sad, pathetic paint job and his dollar store ratchet joints. And yeah, while those do make him look like, honestly, the most laughable MPM, deep down, if you look at him, my boy's got potential. Potential to be the best of them all. And thankfully, some random guy in China sees the same thing as me. Because here we have the F12A, or an improved 1-to-1 KO of MPM Starscream, a figure which completely fixes all previously mentioned flaws. Meaning, this guy is now perfect. Now, I was gonna buy the tattooed version, but I found this guy for $60. And the dopamine goblin that sits inside of my soul couldn't let this pass, so I had to bite. So this version is a more accurate version to the Movie 1 version of Starscream. Or at least it attempts to look like Movie 1 Starscream. And honestly, he absolutely nails it. It looks miles and kilometers better than the original. As a more subtle and appreciated difference that can be felt is the newly found solidity of the figure, which was only achievable by the new joints that don't crumble under his fat ass, alongside a well-done implementation of die-cast in his legs. From what I can tell, only in his feet. Now you can actually use every joint on the figure to the absolute max, because good heavens, it's time to suck off the designers of this beauty, as they really aimed for the stars with this guy. Considering what this guy turns into, the robot mode not only is the most accurate version of Movie 1 Starscream on the market, but maybe the most accurate MPM figure, period, excluding third party. Because now that he actually has all these little details painted up and shit, he pops more than ever. And all this immaculate little detail really does make a difference when it's nicely painted up like that. I absolutely love the way the cockpit is surrounded by all this random yet meticulous detail. His knuckle-dragging proportions. Everything about this guy is just popping so much more to me. Oh, and the fact that he looks good from the front and the back. And his posability hasn't been sacrificed in the least bit, as the designers perfectly worked around his bizarre design to deliver us the dog shit yet signature style MPM head that is on a universal joint going up and not so much down, but the head can do with 360. Opening and closing mouth. Butterfly joints. That would have been nice to have them going forward, but still, good. Ratcheted shoulders, with some wonderful range. And no bicep swivel, which kinda sucks at first glance, but is alright, because you can totally fake it by untransforming the arm a bit and boom. You don't have to buy a $20 to $40 upgrade kit to fix such a minor issue. But he does have an elbow joint, a below the elbow swivel, wrist swivel, plus a little bit of this, and some individually articulated fingers and thumbs, which wouldn't have hurt to put one more pin in the fingers, but I can forgive it. No waist because, well, look at him. But now that he has some tight new ratchets in every joint of his legs, these babies are now capable of going up, back, side to side, bend at 2 different points, as well as swivel and tilt near the foot with absolute ease. Which now brings me to the accessories. And while he may have the exact same accessories as the original, these 100% off coupons come with a nice new look of paint. And the weapons tab on like this. But what makes the accessories even better is the fact that the figure finally has the ability to hold them properly, thanks to the aforementioned new tight joints. Because that was one of the problems of the original, that the original just simply couldn't keep his hands up. He couldn't, pose and do action figure thingies, which, I don't know about you guys, but makes it sound kind of ass. With how little screen time Starscream got in the movies, you kind of forgot about the scale of the character. But this figure reminds you once again just how much of an utter behemoth Starscream is in the movies, as he pretty much towers over everybody. Because I remember when I initially got him out of the box, I was thinking I messed up and bought the oversized version. But then I went back and checked the scale charts. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. And I saw that he was pretty much in scale. That he's really this big in the movie. Homeboy really do be this big. But even then, looking at the scale charts, I thought to myself, he looks a little small maybe. I might just be seeing stuff. Because here he is alongside MPM Megatron. And these guys do look nice with one another. While definitely not iconic designs in the least bit, they do look nice. And it definitely fills a piece of my soul. It just gets up all in there and just fills me up with so much whimsical joy. Oh, and also, here he is alongside Jazz in Studio Series Bumblebee, because right now I don't really have an MPM Bumblebee, and I'm refusing to because scale charts, he's too big. Oh yeah, and MP36, in case you forgot that figure existed. Anyways, the transformation is definitely the closest thing to a flaw in this figure, because while it is interesting, it borders on tedious as you're constantly holding on to pieces so they don't unpeg while trying to hold on to other pieces. And meanwhile, nothing's really locking in properly. During the transformation anyways. But once you're done, you get something that looks alright. Like, it looks like a jet if you look at it from certain angles. And it's somewhat solid, as the legs, for some godforsaken reason, they don't really want to peg in on my copy. And it could totally be me doing something wrong, or like I said, an issue with my copy, which, God, I hope not, because while it was $60, I am broke right now. But regardless of all of that, considering what Creamer looked like in robot mode, the fact that they got him to smush down and compress like this and look semi-aerodynamic is impressive, even if he's out of scale with the other MPMs in vehicle mode. Because, real talk, we Transformer fans, we gotta be honest with ourselves. If we want cool looking robots that turn into planes and shit, we just gotta accept the fact that we're gonna get cool looking robots with shitty plane modes. And yeah, it's not ideal, but for me, it's a reality I can live with. Because let's be honest, who's buying Transformers and turning them into planes and displaying them just like that? But even with that being said, I don't think this guy's jet mode is too bad. It's certainly not the worst I've seen. Because it's clear to me anyways that the designers prioritized the robot mode more than the actual plane mode. And honestly, that's the way it should be in my opinion. And in the end, while it's easy to just look at this KO Starscream and completely forget about that other MPM, the official one anyways, I think it's still important to be grateful to the designers. You goddamn know I'm not giving them my money. Especially looking at those prices. because they can go fuck themselves. Well, you know what to do. If you like the video, then like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Go drop your hateful comments if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, whatever you want. But anyways, thank you. And stay tuned for next week, because I'm cooking something. Cooking something big.